Hello, my fellow anime titty enjoyers. The first two videos on my channel were about how long it takes to level up a character in my two favorite anime titty games, Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero. First off, thank you for watching, I greatly appreciate it. And for the first two videos on my channel, they actually did way better than I was expecting. But second, fuck off with these Kuro bots and horror shills that come out and just blatantly ignore the point of the video. Look at me! I leveled my character in one day! Oh no, don't let those Kuro bots and horror shills see this, oh no. Alright, listen fuckos. First off, why y'all always coming at each other like your game's flawless? Both games have their positives and their negatives. Secondly, we all pre-farm. You're not special. That was not the point of the video. The point of the videos is if you have no resources available, how long would it take for you to farm for a new character? Third, subscribe to the fucking channel. I mean, look man, I got a shill, alright? That's how you do things on YouTube. Anyways, despite all the comments of random bull, there were some helpful corrections. And since this community loves to compare their games and their communities with this strange my EP's bigger than yours type of dialogue, let's give them what they want. This video is comparing how long it takes to level a character. ZZZ versus Wuthering Waves. Alright, so real quick, let's start with the conclusion in the previous videos. For Wuthering Waves, free to play, it takes about 12 days to farm. That's 2,910 wave plates divided by the 240 wave plates that you get daily. For pay to win, which is basically just adding the battle pass, it cuts all the way down to 6.2 days, or 1480 wave plates. For Zenless Zone Zero, it takes 16.125 days, which is about 5,160 battery divided by the 320 battery that you get daily. For pay to win, again, basically the battle pass, it comes all the way down to 9 days of farm. That's 2,870 battery needed. Take that, oh you shills! Wuthering Waves on top! Alright, hold on 1 second there, little pup. Remember how I said that there were corrections? Let's go through those now. Before the actual corrections, let's talk about one thing that I'm not changing. There are some legitimate criticisms about actually using the entire battle pass because you won't realistically claim all the rewards at once for one character. And that's true. No one does this. However, the reason that I chose to do it that way is because when the battle pass gets deeper into it, it gets stronger in its rewards. So, depending on when you started farming, could actually dictate how many points or how many wave plates or battery charges the battle pass actually saves you. Basically what I'm saying is, I ain't trying to calculate all that. One thing that we did correct was that in the Wuthering Waves video, we had calculated the double XP into the numbers because they were going on at the time, while for Zenless Zone Zero, it actually didn't show up until afterwards. So we added a pinned comment. But to go over those, and actually to calculate them both based off of double XP, for Zenless Zone Zero, you save an extra 230 battery more than without it. And the reason that it's only 230 is because whenever you have double XP, it's usually taking place of another smaller event. Anyways, basically because of double XP, that 9 days total time ends up being 8.25 days total time. Another thing that was pointed out is that I did not include the battery recharges or the wave plate condense that you get in the battle passes in either of the calculations. And since I didn't do it for one and didn't do it for the other, I was originally just going to leave it out of this video. But because I know people are going to nitpick, we'll go over it real quick. So in Zenless Zone Zero, you get 6 refills for free to play and 12 for pay to win, while in Wuthering Waves, you only get 5 for free to play and 10 for pay to win. Ha! Take that! Kuro bots. But wait a second. If you remember, Wuthering Waves daily wave plates are 240, while Zenless Zone Zero's is technically 320. Because of this, the value of the recharges actually gets diluted. Zenless Zone Zero free-to-play saves 1.1 days of farming with the 6 recharges, while Wuthering Waves free-to-play saves 1.25 days with only 5 battery charges. To boil it down, a single recharge saves a Zenless Zone Zero player 0.1875 days each. Meanwhile, a single refill will save Wuthering Waves players a quarter of a day each. It is a small, minute victory for the Kuro bots at the end of the day. To recap, for Zenless Zone Zero free-to-play players, you save 1.1 days with these charges, while pay to win saves 720 battery, which ends up being 2.25 days. Meanwhile, for Wuthering Waves, they save 1.25 days on the free-to-play side, while the pay-to-win side saves 2.5 days. Hold it! Because there is something I've failed to add to the calculations for Zenless Zone Zero, and that is the bi-weekly pawn shop and the monthly Z merit rewards. The Z merit reward saves you 350 battery. Meanwhile, the pawn shop only saves you about 70 battery. The total you end up saving is another 1.3 days from these two. So, this is what the Zenless Zone Zero numbers look like with those adjustments. Basically, if we're starting for the free-to-play and we have the 5,160 battery, we minus the 420 from the reclaims, the 360 from the battle pass recharges, and the 230 from the double XP correction, and it ends up being 4,150 battery charges needed to fully complete a character. And that is a total of 12.96 days. For pay to win, it goes from 9 days to farm, which is the 2,870 battery needed, minus 420, minus 720, minus 230, which ends up being 1,500 battery needed, or 4.68 days of farming.
Objection!
We also need to calculate the save time to WUA for the battery charges. So for WUA's free-to-play, it starts out at 12 days to farm. That's the 2,910 wave plates. If you minus the 300, it ends up being 2,610 wave plates, which is 10.87 days. And for the pay-to-win, you start in at the 6.2 days. That's the 1,480 wave plates minus the 600 that you'd get from the Battle Pass refills. And you are ending up with 880 total, which is 3.66 days of farming. Alright, so eat shit anyways, Zenless Zone Zero.
Objection!
Wrong again, because there's also errors on Wuthering Wave's side as well. In the original calculations, I calculated Ascendancy materials with a range of 4 to 6 drops, because I could have sworn I've gotten a 6 drop in the past, but it's actually only 4 to 5 drops. So, the 46 Ascension mats that you need to fully ascend a character, and changing the math from the 5 per 60 down to 4.5 per 60 weight plates, the actual total ends up being 620 weight plates needed instead of the original 550. So to add that difference, that 70 weight plate difference, we now come to the free-to-play taking 11.2 days to farm, and the pay-to-win taking 3.96 days to farm. Looks like it's a victory for the Kurobots, doesn't it? Such a shame, it was coming really close too.
Hold it!
Hold it? Hold what? Look, man, I did my best, okay? Look, it's not that much of a difference. It's gonna be alright.
Did your best, my ass, Kurobot. If you're gonna do this, do it right before we go feral on Twitter and drag your name through the mud.
But I don't use Twitter.
Do you think we care? We will go full Karen on your furry ass.
It's a onesie, actually.
Silence. Do this right, or else. Look, you even forgot about page 3 in the pawn shop. You're gonna tell us you tried?
Page 3? What? What are you Oh, shit. Alright, so I did actually overlook that. The page 3 of the pawn shop also has a bi-weekly of 150k that you can grab if you have been keeping up with your temple. With that, you save 120 battery charge. So the final number for ZZZ comes to this. 12.59 days needed to farm on free-to-play, or 4.31 days for pay-to-win.
Objection!
Oh my god, what now?
What about the Wua fix, huh? Did you forget, Kurobot?
Alright. In the original WUA video, I calculated a mean for the possible drops, and when I did that original video, it seems I was getting very lucky. In the 20 runs I did, I was averaging 2.1 gold drops between all the drops. This time around, I got very unlucky, and in 20 drops, I averaged 1.8 gold drops. I got a single gold drop in 20 runs, where I previously got roughly 1 in 3 runs. The numbers come out to this. Originally, it cost you about 1620 wave plates, but on this low end, it cost you 1837 wave plates. That's a 217 wave plate difference between the two. The range can make almost a whole day of difference in farming, and this still isn't the absolute worst luck or the absolute best luck. So let's compromise and take a middle ground. Round up, and we need to add 110 more wave plates to the previous totals to make up the difference. Therefore, for free-to-play, it takes 11.63 days to farm. Meanwhile, for pay-to-win, it actually takes 4.42 days to farm. Congratulations to Hoya Shills. Farm handshakes all around. Are you happy now? It seems like a very minor win for ZZZ in the pay-to-win side, while Wua still wins for the free-to-play side. But now you set me off. We want to go all in, let's do it. One big problem in the calculations is that this lovely little pawn shop didn't even exist for the first year of the game. The pawn shop came out in 2.0, which was in June 6, 2025, when the game came out July 4th, 2024. That means for almost a whole year, you were missing out on that precious half day of farm time that's been added to the calculations. It has only been for the past 4 months that ZZZ has been slightly beating out Wuthering Waves. But Wuthering Waves ain't out the woods either. Don't think for a second I'm giving them a pass. While the two numbers that I presented previously for the skill points is bad luck and a good luck scenario, it's more likely that it tilts towards the bad luck side of things rather than the good luck side of things. Anyways, lastly, let's talk about characters. These numbers were based off of getting a new limited 5-star character and their weapon. Ignoring the financial differences between the amount of pulls needed and things like that, Wuthering Waves came out earlier, yet only has 20 limited 5-star characters. Zenless Zone Zero has 26 limited 5-star characters. This excludes characters from either game that came out after October 5th, 2025. With simple math, and in a magical world where free-to-play players got all the characters, all the new characters, it would take a WUA player 224 days to max out every limited character, while for Zenless Zone Zero, a free-to-play player would take 337 days to max out every character. And that's with simple math. Remember, that would also be assuming that for every character, you have a fully completed battle pass, which you wouldn't, full endgame rewards per character, which you wouldn't, and that there would be double XP basically every week, which there isn't. It gets even worse for Zenless Zone Zero than it does for Wuthering Waves because you'd have to actually start using your resources to spend on the boss mats that you didn't have to do if you actually managed your resources properly previously. So these numbers are actually way bigger, realistically. But there's also a whole bunch of things that weren't included in those calculations, like one-time claim rewards from completing quests, the main storyline, exploration, all sorts of things like that. So which game is better? Spoiler, neither of them. Every game, like I said at the start, has their positives and negatives. In this case, Wuthering Waves technically won out for the free-to-play side, while Zenless Zone Zero technically won out for the pay-to-win side. But that doesn't mean either game is better than the other one. And remember, this doesn't include things like farming for echoes or disc sets either. The TLDR, it's very, very close to how long it takes to get a character to max level in both games. This video was made in good fun, so try your best not to take it too seriously. Challenge impossible for gacha communities, am I right? Thanks for watching the video all the way through if you made it this far. Next video will be 3 things that ZZZ can learn from WUA, and 3 things that WUA could learn from ZZZ. It might be 2 different videos, or it might all be in the same video. I also stream on Twitch, at SlinkyCH, occasionally anyways. Usually on weekends if there's a new main story quest, so like this weekend, or for League Start weekends for Path of Exile 1 and 2. Thanks for stopping by, appreciate it a lot, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.